Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play I the Beholder. In the last episode, our adventurers managed to get through the second level of the sewer system, being trapped in what I guess must be an abandoned section of the sewers, utilized by various other organizations or groups for nefarious purposes. We've found some potions scattered here and there, and quite a bit of undead in this level, and we took care of all of them in the end. Our heroes are looking pretty good. We got, I think everyone leveled all of their classes once since we created them, so that's useful too. And level 3 awaits us. Before we go down there, I figured we would just show the characters really quick and what they have. If they have anything particularly amazing, I'll cover it on screen really quick. But so far, we haven't picked up any, like, magical weapons or armor, with the exception of Guinsu, a dagger, which we converted to being a magic dagger by placing a dagger in an alcove up there. I have no clue how I remember it to do that, but I did remember to do it. Whew! Our food supplies are holding up at the moment. We have enough to at least get through level 3. For spells that we have, Alexander and Rolkvus have... Oh, well, they don't have anything memorized, I guess, or less spells memorized. So let's camp and rest in order for my group to gain more spells. But just in case, I'm going to check really quick to make sure that we don't have any new spells, like empty slots, and we don't. Okay, let's go ahead and just rest. Our group will recover their spells. We'll show off what spells they have memorized. And then we'll talk a little bit more about this playlist. And I took all flame blades on Alexander. Right. He is a dwarf of the Master Forger is what we're going with. A god who the dwarves pray to. So that their weapons and armor may hold up rather well. And that they're... it grants them... the Flame Blade spell, in particular for Alexander. So, a few things before we get going. Oh, right, we're also supposed to look at the stats, so just in case you guys have forgotten, just a few seconds over every character. There we go. All right. So I'm thinking what we're also going to do, everyone, is at the end of each episode, in case you guys have any questions you want me to answer, I'll dedicate like 10 minutes at the very end to answering your questions. It's a bit rough to do it in this game only because of the resolution I'm recording the game at. It means that I can't easily record like me talking to you with my webcam, and there's no other games that can really fit in this resolution, thanks to the resolution that this game is being recorded at. I've stretched the window to make it easy for me to see what's going on, but there's no easily set resolution in the configuration or options. So it'll just be me having this game up, and I'll just be chatting while moving my mouse around to make sure that my video recorder realizes that there's something happening on screen. And if you don't care about me just talking about random questions you guys ask, well, then you can just skip that part as well. Alright, so let's keep going. Alright, so now it's time for level 3. Down we go. I think there's one more copy protection much later on. Much later on in the game. Man, it's been an age since I have heard that sound effect. I know what it is, but we haven't seen them yet. Alright, so we're done with level 3. And we should go to the right first, according to the ancient map that we have. I suppose when they got trapped in here, Rolkvas, being a cleric of a god of knowledge, had with him these graph paper maps that I have created, or he prayed and suddenly these materialized in his pack. Maybe accidentally or on purpose, one of the Lords of Waterdeep provided him with this information, hidden away to help this group defeat the evil that is down here, or find out what the plot is that we've been told to root out. And so he's able to consult these to help out his group, which now they need, since they're not getting out unless we can make our way down to level 12. So according to our map, we want to go right first before we go left. Left opens us up into the rest of the dungeon. Right is a little area which is sealed off, as it were, from the rest of it. In other words, it leads to a series of dead ends, but I don't have any loot marked on my maps. So there's probably some treasure back there. Small chamber. We also discovered that, or rather we're guessing, that the second floor was at some point a thieves' guild was scrolled away from the rest of the dungeon, or close to where the water runoff would be. And we found that they must have also been dabbling in necromancy, given all the skeletal guards that were within the correction facility. Maybe those were also skeletons that weren't fully being commanded correctly by whatever magical items the necromancers had given to the thieves to help them control their guards. And so they were all placed there until the clerics could do some work with them, or mages could do some work with them. That's interesting. Door shut behind us. This looks like a perfect chamber for a trap. And there are traps in this game, but most of the traps we will be able to see why or how they activate as well. This trap, though, is a spinner trap, according to my notes. Once we take one step more forward, watch our compass. You feel dizzy, and it rotated us back to the north, where we just came from. The fact that the door shuts behind you, it's supposed to be confusing you as to which direction you're facing. A silver key. Cool. I guess you are the key holder. That's right, the keeper. Is what we're calling that. God, I'm so amazing with my puns. I'm great. I am fantastic. Instead of like, you know, improving my stats in real life or giving myself like something useful, I just took advanced punnery. That's one of my non-weapon proficiencies. I was a level 1 Tim. There's another such spinny trap here, by the way. There we go. We got spun around again. Oh, no problem. Just turn ourselves around. Must be some sort of magical effect that we... Well, it says we feel dizzy, actually. So maybe the characters like shut their eyes and shake their heads a bit to try to shake it off. And when they look up again, they're not sure which direction they're facing. Thankfully, we do have a compass here. Once again, Rokvus and the God of Knowledge probably providing this for them. Now, on the off chance there's some evil up ahead, I think we will cast a spell here. Let's see. And I guess we'll go with your spell book, Rokvus. Gnolls. Much more difficult to kill than kobolds were earlier. Another silver key. And a mace. I don't think it's magical. Oh, well, I just put it on Alexander by accident. It's a good thing we can take it off. All right, so it's not cursed at least. I don't think it's magical either, for that matter. An arrow. We will take this, but we'll leave it out of our quiver at the moment. Soggins. Deep ones, I suppose. Nice. We get some rations he was carrying. Maybe chop them up for some of his fish feet as food. Mmm, delicious fish feet. You have to go to the Asian market to get that stuff. I love some of the crazy foods they have there. If it wasn't for Liz asking me to pick... So, I had a girlfriend for a bit. Then we were great friends after we broke up. And she's done a few Let's Plays with me ages ago when my channel was initially created. I might have one or two videos still up where she was a part of them. But she was from Laos. And she would ask me to pick up stuff for her from the Asian market, which is not too far from my house. And whatever it was she wanted... I would always grab a second of it so I could try it too. Because she had fantastic tastes for foods. And things I've never ever eaten before. It's simply absolutely delicious. And you wouldn't think to try it, given what it looks like or what it's called. but it's amazing. I can't think of the last time I've actually been there, though. It's been over 10 years. I can't think of very many crazy stuff off the top of my head. Duck eggs were interesting. Very difficult for me to eat them. I've had fried frog, chicken feet, and other crazy things. I can't pronounce some of them because she would use a different lao to explain what they were. That's all that was in here, by the way. Just some food on the actual Sagan and nothing else here. Well, I mean, the food is useful. It'll keep us from starving to death. Let's double check this other dead end one more time. Yeah, okay, well, that was it. A knoll, a Sagan, some food on them, a mace on the knoll. And that was it. I guess I shouldn't say no to the experience points of killing them, though that is very strange. Something else I didn't really like about the second edition Dungeons & Dragons is that for the... Well, no. It was up to the Dungeon Masters to decide when players leveled or what have you. I was always a goal-oriented Dungeon Master. I never... Don't tell my players this, but I never tracked their experience points ever in these games. When I was Dungeon Master, when they completed tasks, like when an adventure ended, is when I would level them, rather than giving them experience points, and players would level at different rates. Remember that I also made all my own custom character classes, so thieves were not as weak in my game as they were in general for 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons. A teleporter. Where will that take me? Do I have it on my map? I do. Wow! We skip a huge section of the dungeon if we take this teleporter. It'll bring us to the... I have written down the museum. Attack 'em. Right here. Oh, yeah, right. I remember now. You'll see it when we get there. But we should totally explore all of this. We're not struggling for food at this moment, so let's keep adventuring up. Oh, there's a trap here. Or something to that effect. Because we got teleported back. Now that's interesting. Let's put something on the ground here to track where we are. Oh, okay. Maybe placing that on the ground was enough to cancel the teleporter from warping us back again. Because there was not 2 teleporters. Just one of them. Oh, and look at what we spy over here on the right. I like to think that Alexander has a natural eye for detecting anything out of the ordinary when it comes to the walls after staring at them for a bit to recognize what they consist of. A clerical scroll of Cause Light Wounds. This is trash. We'll just take it, though. Can be used to put it on a pressure plate. Let's get a bless going. This is a bit of a maze that we have here. But since I don't see anything evil in front of us, let's keep walking. I have written down key chamber here, and I see three locked wall segments. I think your silver keys can be used in like 1 or 2 of these, but you can't open all of them. And there's a different reward for you based upon which of these that you open, I think. We'll come back here after we do a little more exploring. Not too much more, because we don't want to have to waste, I don't want our characters being too hungry. Don't have a good feeling for what type of location this third level is at the moment. Other than it's filled with... Ooh, right! They throw lightning balls at you. We killed it. Good work, guys. Good sound effect, too. The little zappy sound effect. I like that. And we got more fish feet. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious. The food you eat in these games is really amazing. Remember Legend of Grimrock, where we kill slugs? You get slug flesh to eat as food? Oh, man. Oh, that must be disgusting. I guess if you put enough mayonnaise or ketchup on it, it'll be acceptable of spicy mustard. Nothing in this little dead end. Okay. Now, do I want to go back now and unlock those doors? I do not. Let's keep going. I guess I am going to risk that we'll be a little hungry. That bubble sound, I believe, is the Saugin moving around. Their feet must have, like, suction cups on the bottom of them. Okay, another locked door here. According to my map, there's a switch here. This opens that door. Can we lockpick it? Saugin. Oh, this was the wrong way to go. Because now we don't have much room to... Oh, maneuver. Didn't matter. We killed him anyway. I thought we might be forced into that corner. Good job, Scavvy. Potion of extra healing. We'll give that one to you, Alexander. And this normal healing potion can go to Kokorhekis. Another healing potion. Rockwest, you can get that one. Some sort of emergency storeroom. I'm imagining there must be other bottles and debris here, but those were the only two usable items that we found. Probably a storage room for alchemical experiments. So this must have been an experimentation or a laboratory that we're going in at the moment, which might explain the Saugin here. If the guild of thieves, and I suppose now we're rolling in, we're going to roll necromancers in with them. Maybe they were trying to work on some sort of super Saugin to help them out in whatever plan they had to attack the city above, or who knows what. Similar to in Pool of Radiance, the mage who was experimenting on the lizardmen. Okay, all of these lead eventually to the same place, and there'll be a pit. Ooh, no you don't! Nice try. Nice, good work, guys. More fish feet. Won't say no to more food. No matter where it comes from, I suppose. I should be using Flame Blade with you, Alexander. I don't know if the sound effects we're hearing indicate how close something is to us, like footstep-wise. I don't think it does. If you were just quickly moving, that would send you down to level 4. And if you're in level 4, that's really bad if you weren't ready to be in level 4. Hopefully you didn't save the game. This hole looks like the inside of a jewel box. Some treasures are probably in there, but we can't open that up. Oh! On my map, it's a giant room filled with various pits. That'll be fun to navigate. By the way, we should save the game. It's been a while since we've saved it. Another spot for a gem or jewel. We haven't found anything of that sort yet. Maybe that key chamber might have something. So I guess we will double back now to that and check it. Give us a chance to see if there's any other Soggins around here. Always could use more food. It's nightmarish. So just chopping. I said fish feet because I think it's a cute name, but that's pretty nightmarish. If you're a Soggin and you see the adventurers chopping your friend's feet off. All right, so can we pick the lock on one of these, and which one am I opening? On my map here, I don't indicate which key is the one we should open. Which door is the one we should open? So let's try this one first. No sound effect. No sound effect. Can't use lockpicks on them. So I think our choice is one middle one or two on the right and left. I might use one of my reloads. 2 reloads. So I am going to reload often to get our hit points back. But when it comes to choices like this, just 2 per video. Let's see. Okay, so let's try this one. The key fits. We have a button. Oh! That hit Kokorhekas, actually. Because he was in the back rank. And that creature attacked him. I hate Curlite wounds. 2 hit points healed each time? Who comes up with these rules for those? Who decided this was a fun idea? That your hit points will only heal 1 hit point at the rest 8 hours to get another hit point back. Guys, this is awful. We're also hungry again, so we're going to eat some more food. Everyone shares food with each other. Take back Guinsu. So that was not the right thing to do. Did we get another Soggin? We cannot get any more Soggins. Okay, so I'm incorrect. One of these is the correct button to press. It must be... I'm guessing it's the center one. Aha! Nice try, Soggin. I was ready for you. That's just a useful thing to do, since we get some free food. And I'm guessing there is not going to be a button here. Let's save the game again. We're looking on experience points. Alexander is getting close, as is Rokvas, to a cleric level up. I think it's 15 or 16,000 for our warrior till up to level 5. Oh, wow, another pit. A mage will detect magic. More junk. We don't need this. I guess we'll cast it after we grab whatever's on the ground up ahead. A gem. Backstabber. I want to say this is a cursed dagger, but I don't know that. So we're going to... I think if you throw this, it attacks you, if I remember correctly. It is a magical dagger, but I'm not going to equip it. My memory of it tells me it's bad. The axe is not magical. Neither is the mace we got from the... whatchamacallit? The knoll. The arrows are also not magical. Put those in the quiver. Okay, let's keep pressing on. we want to avoid going down to level 4 until the next video. That's going to be really tough. Level 4 is, in my opinion, the toughest level in the... Well, is it the toughest level in the game? It's the first time in which you are staring, well, death in the face in the form of 8-legged, gigantic Black Widow spiders all over that level. Okay, we have a gem. It can open one of these passages. We'll use it here because I see a gigantic room below here that we can't otherwise access. The other gem box can be... It looks like there's a door on the opposite side of it. So let's... I don't know if... Don't know if you need a gem there as well, but we're going to use this here. We have moving enemies. Okay, let's use Protect Evil. Missed. We did not successfully hold person that. How many of you thought I was going to fall in that pit? Don't be shy. You can tell me. I myself was worried about dodging the Saugin, but we were able to do so. Am I pronouncing it correctly? I could call them deep ones. Okay. Lots of pits, and these open other pits. So let's see. And my map is wrong. My map says that there's a switch here. There is no switch there. There's a switch here. Ooh! Tim, you can't move now. You have to stay here and tank it. Their lightning spells, if it doesn't hit a target, because I think they have to actually roll to hit, will fly through and hit something else in the same rank, which is why Alexander took that hit. So stepping on this revealed that pit. And it's not possible to close that pit, so we're not going that way. I am a little nervous that we're going to step on that switch and do something bad to ourselves. Let's try throwing a rock there. Has to be stepped on. As long as you're not speeding through this area. I see no reason to step on that at the moment. Let's keep moving forward. Ooh, look at all that treasure. And another gem. I would very much... Well, is it treasure? Arrows. Okay, I think we stand here, and then we can shoot an arrow. Maybe we could throw a dagger to the same effect. Yes, we can. All right, not bad. I might be wrong about backstabber, but I'm pretty sure it does hurt yourself when you throw it. Since we don't know if these are magical, we'll keep them separate at the moment in our inventory. Potion of Speed. Will let someone attack rapidly. We'll give that to you, Scavvy. And another gem. I'm going to, I think, leave... Alexander gained, I think, 1 hit point. And Rokvas gained 4. That's no good. I don't want to gain just 1 hit point on Alexander, even if... or 2. We can do a lot better than that. Yeah, that was awful. Okay, so... now I also know what we should be looking for. So we go over here, step on this. For the dagger. Okay, and now we can save the game because we're going to level up again. I think when we just step towards that. Okay. It's really important early on, everyone, that you roll well for your hit point rolls. Another thing I hated about Dungeons & Dragons was how you could... a 5th level fighter could have 5 freaking hit points. And I understand RNG, but there was so much RNG for important stuff in the game. Just terrible. Alright, here we go. Roll quest. I don't remember how many hit points you had, but I don't think I want this roll. Let's try this again. I think you gained 1 hit point. 1 hit point. That's no good. That really is no good. Come on, it's a cleric level we're gaining. All right. Rolkvus has 19, and Alexander has 34. We will do this like 5 more times on screen before I do it off screen. I would like Alexander to get at least 4 hit points. That's at least 4 hit points, and that's 3 for Rolkvus. So that's a okay roll. Alexander, let's see here. Constitution is 17, so that's 2 hit points. He gained 4, so he had to roll at least a 6, I think, to gain that. I guess that's acceptable. Let's try it like 2 more times. I wish there was... there probably is a mod which gives your characters max hit points whenever they level. That's much better. 38 hit points for Alexander, but only 3 for Rolkvus. And I think we can do better than that. 1 more time on screen. Okay, going off screen. I'll be back, everyone. All right, everyone, about 21 more attempts. And I think this is probably about the best we're going to do. Rolkvus can get 23 hit points. But man, it's very rare that it happens. And Alexander almost never gets 5 hit points upon Rolkvus getting 3. I've never seen it. So this is acceptable. Rolkvus gets 3 hit points. Alexander gets 5 hit points max. Let's keep this. Okay, the dagger's gonna stay there. We don't need to touch it. And now we try to get out of this room. Which we've done. Alright, awesome. Let's see the game again. I thought it'd be a lot tougher to get out of the room for some reason. Okay, and let's find a place maybe to rest again. We've used a good amount of our... I guess we can keep pressing on just a little bit longer. So... let's use a Flame Blade spell and keep moving up. We do have another gem, but I'm not going to use it there. Let's press forward. So this is the museum, is what I have this written down as. Oh, hello. Look how frightening you look. When you move a certain distance into this room, all the creatures in here will activate, but right now they are not. It's a good thing they're not, because we missed both of those hits immediately. More food. I will absolutely grab more food. I guess we should try Backstabber once, right? And see what happens if we actually throw it. Oops. Oh. Oh, okay. Oof, big hit there we just took. What shut? Oh, hello. What does this say? Oh, museum. All right, that's why I have it labeled the museum. I guess this door shuts behind you when you move a little too far away from the entrance. Sounds like the Soggen, at least, are not paralyzed any longer. Oh, I thought that was safe to move. I was like, why can't I move to the left? It's because there was a shut door there, Tim. Good job there. Alexander, you're taking some hits, but I can't heal you. We have no more heal spells. Man, I keep thinking they're going to walk up here, and they don't sometimes. It's good for them, being a little smart, not being drawn into this hallway of what's going to end up being their death. Oh, it actually hit. Good job. Whew. Okay, Backstabber seems to be actually hitting, which is good. I thought for sure it would damage us. Oh, Knolls are now active. Ooh, Flame Blade expired. We're taking big hits here. It's a very good thing we didn't move into the room. And I don't think we will yet either. We need the rest to recover what we've already cast. If I'm allowed to. You can't rest if creatures are too close to you. So since we're going to be healing the group a bit, Alexander will clear his rank. Oh, right. We leveled up to level 4 now as a cleric. So we gain an extra first level and I think a second level spell. Yep. So let's give you an aid over there, Alexander. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we're going to have to rest another time to recover our spells. So let's wait. Stop, please, stop. Pray for spells. Go here. Clear. Actually, that was dumb. I shouldn't have cleared you. We'll go with this. One more spell for you. We'll grab another hold person at this moment and then exit. Rest. No for that. Okay, so now we can cast a bunch of cure spells. Let's see how many of them it takes for us to heal completely. Probably all of them. Okay, nope, that was it. Rolfus, you already have the spells I want you to have for your first and second level. So we just have to recamp for Alexander to have him pray for the spells I actually want him to have now. So that's going to be Bless, Detect Magic, Bless, Bless, Protection from Evil. That'll be fine. We rest. Okay, let's get back out there. And we're going to be brave and risk actually going into the room now. Remember this being very deadly when I had first played the game. Getting surrounded and having enemies use lightning spells and everything else on you is a bit of a nightmare. And that's probably why I said attack them on my map. I wasn't interested in... Because you can kill them, as you saw, individually before the whole room activates. Another healing potion. I guess we don't need... Actually, let's cast that Detect Magic now. Oh, that's protection from evil. Not what I wanted, but we'll cast it now. None of these arrows are magical either. So a museum. Probably there's some experiments that they were doing here, which they liked the result of. Armor class 8 if I give you this. Armor class 7. God, those giant hits for no reason whatsoever either. Just me fiddling around with trying to cast a spell. Oop, that was a mistake. I removed the hit point he had. Thanks to the aid spell I gave him. Again, wasting a Cure Light Wound spell. More rations. Good. At least we're getting enough food to keep on going. And there is a door here. And this is a teleporter to the other teleporter at the beginning of this area. Super secret passage. We have too many rocks. Good job, guys. You can hear more moving around up ahead. Let's cast... By the way, you cannot remove the Flame Blade. It is locked to Alexander. He and only he is able to hold the... Flame Blades can only be held by the person who casts the spell. Now, I don't have anything written about this maze. They must have released captured people here to have their experiments hunt them. Please stop trying to swap, game. It's not at all what I wanted you to do. The controls of the game are acceptable, but I do wish you could remap them. But this was before that was... Well, no, I played lots of games back in the late 80s and 90s on the PC, at least, which is what this is for, which allows you to remap or rebind controls. We should be using hold persons. We won't use them ever again once we're done with this level. Which is a bit weird to say, but it's also true. Everything else lower than this either doesn't qualify as a valid hold person target, or is too high level. Nice, that one worked very well. Mage Scroll Fireball, very nice. I think we'll give that to Rogvas, since he is more likely to end up being a pure caster. Whew. Tough Knoll. A real champion among them. They must be working on their hit points to make them more survivable. Had a small army of them down here. That Sagan sounds like it's really close. out of heal spells for the time being. And this door will lead you back out to where that one gem was required earlier. In the not museum area. So we'll leave it shut at the moment so we can rest again. Actually, yeah, let's rest in here again. No, there's still more things to fight. We should keep moving. So where am I here? That's... Oh, okay. I went the wrong way. This is the north passage. We want to go to the south. Is there a rotator here? I think there might have been. I was a little confused there. Okay, so we want to go this way. Cast a bless, and then use a flame blade on yourself. Put back on your shield. No, another one. Ooh, 2 more of them. Wow, really super strong gnolls. Holy crap. Good, one of them's finally down. Hey, don't you ignore me! Don't you ignore me! What's up with that? Guy just like, these heroes are too low level. I'm not gonna worry about them. What a jerk. I mean, he's correct. We're not really doing the damage we need to do here. Okay. A bit embarrassing, but we managed to kill that gnoll. And we have to get back all our daggers. Yeah, there is a teleporter somewhere here, and it's shifting me around or something. We do not want to leave our magical daggers behind. Alright guys, let's keep moving. Yeah, the giant room we were just in, or not giant room, but the room we were in, probably is where they marched down prisoners and released them into this maze. And it doesn't look like there was an easy way out unless they could find the secret button on a wall to let them out of the maze. Otherwise, these creatures would also just kill them in here. I see what that means, what that food is down there. Oh, hello. Good work, guys. Getting close to leveling? Getting close to leveling. I think we'll earn another fighter level with Scabby very soon. Which means we should save the game again, because it's been a bit since we've done so. Oh, that doesn't look good. A spear. Spears are long melee weapons, and you can give them to someone in the back rank, and they will be able to hit enemies on the front rank with it. And by back rank I mean the second rank here. I don't know if we can... Later on we'll get 2 more NPCs with us. I don't know if the very back rank here, the third rank, can actually use a spear to attack the enemies in the front. But we will absolutely hold on to it. Some leather armor. We don't know if it's magical or not. Some human bones. We'll hold on to those. And a longsword taken. We don't have a detect magic spell memorized. I don't think any longer. Do we have a detect magic scroll? We do not. Okay, I'm just going to leave that scroll behind. It looks like it might be a good spot for us to rest. To recover some spells. So why don't we actually do that? And we'll scribe scrolls first. Roikvus will scribe Fireball. He can't cast it for some time. That's just a 3rd level spell. He's only a level 3 mage. He's got to be level 5 to cast it. But it'll be good to have that when he eventually does reach that spell level. Let's see here. Let's pray for Alexander's spells. Am I content with these? I think I am. And Roikfuss. I'm going to clear that other protection from evil. You're just going to be all about healing. 1st level. We're also going to drop the aids and the hold persons for just slow poison spells, because level 4 is up ahead. We're not doing it in this episode, but we're going to, well, maybe you'll be resting before you go down there. So why don't you prepare for a little more combat instead? 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't learned any new mage spells, and our mages haven't leveled up, so there's nothing for them to do. Oh! I guess, do I get rid of your Melf's Acid Arrow at the moment for invisibility? No, we'll leave you with what you currently have. Invisibility is a... Oh, I also should rest. Invisibility is an interesting spell, because to my recollection, invisibility does not expire until you attack in this game. Did I do that right, or did I cancel that too quickly? Canceled it too quickly. Okay. Darn it. We have to rest for another 8 hours then. Okay, so let's start with a detect magic and see what we're holding on to. We do have too many. Well, we'll eventually get someone who can probably use a sling. Mace is not magical. Sword is not magical. It is a long sword, though, which is better than the short sword Scabby has, so he'll use this instead. Okay, so nothing else is really magical. So what am I going to... The leather armor also is not magical. Do you guys have armor on? Wow, our thief did not even have armor on him when he came into this dungeon. What the heck? Okay. Tech magic. I guess we will go with this. Scroll plus. We can probably use this spell. Scroll. Alright, let's move on. Try to get out of this mazy area and get back to that teleporter, which I think is up here. Okay, we beat up a bunch of gnolls there. Everything behind us, we're not going back for. Let's proceed onward. We may need to drop a rock. And probably another one. Because this is a long passage. Okay. We got teleported. Okay, and we're past it. I don't know what it takes to get past it. Nice, another blue gem. When I used to play this game, another blue gem, a sapphire, I suppose, I used to attempt to keep things like gems as a way to... For some reason, by the way, I want to say we want to leave rations in all of these alcoves, so we're going to do that temporarily. I used to try to hold on to the gems because I like the image of our heroes coming out, not only surviving and being stronger with magical equipment, but also having some funds, gems and like gold keys and what have you at the end of it. But we'll need a gem for that probably. So maybe we're not going to be holding on to these gems after all. Missed. Of course, he did not miss us. Good God! 8 damage, 8 damage, 6 damage from that null. Woof! Good high roller. Wouldn't expect anything else from an old SSI game. Your characters miss a lot, do almost no damage. They hit all the time, do fantastic damage. That's the way it always worked. Let's see. So, Roikvus, we need to heal our characters. Alright, everyone's at max hit points, but that was all the cure spells we had. What was he guarding down here? Another gem. Another potential another eye socket wanting one. And I think we've been we've been teleported. I hate you so much. But he is targeting a very easy to hit character. Our dwarf fighter does not have a high armor, a low armor class, so he's going to get the snot kicked out of him pretty often. We should be using Bless, and he should also have a protection from evil spell on him most of the time, Tim, to reduce the chances he gets hit by some of these things. Another blue gem. And where am I? Facing west. We'll go this way, step there, and now there's one passage left here that we haven't been down. Okay, 4 gems, 4 sockets for those gems. I don't think we're going to get... I was hoping we could get away without using all of them in every single spot, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Just got teleported. That's the one we placed a gem in that one already. Got teleported again. Let's think here. I want to try this one. Okay, we're going to have to put the gems in all the eye sockets. Darn it. I was hoping we could avoid doing that. Okay, so we've done... Which one is this? We've done this one. Check. We've done the one north of this. The moment I step here, we're going to be teleported south. Okay. That's to the west. Oh, nope. My map is wrong. This is not the right place that we got teleported to. That's... What the heck, Tim? Okay, so let's put a gem here. Can't be the red gem. So that's 3 of them. Okay, here's the 4th and final one. Let's make sure we have our spells are in effect. And something has opened. I see the purple eyes. But I don't see what I was expecting, which is a way into that area. Oh, is it because I have the rations in these, I wonder? Maybe we can't put them there. There's supposed to be a way from the south into that room. Okay, there it is. Now I hear Soggin. I don't see any around here. Three rations. Iron rations. If I put these... I really want to say that if I put these rations in all these alcoves, that we get something special. It looks like the teleporters have also now been disabled when the gems went into the eye sockets. I'm willing to try iron rations as standard rations here. In all the slots, just in case that matters, which it might. That would kind of suck, Tim, if the iron rations go away. Trading iron rations for standard rations for a little bit of loot is probably not worth the effort. Is not worth it at this point. Not until your clerics gain another level. Oh, the teleporters are still in effect. We just got teleported again. Okay, darn it. So now I have to actually keep track of directions where I've been before. We got teleported again, Tim. Oh my god. Okay. So then let's not oh, we teleported back to the very beginning. Alright, there's the last normal rations. If I go back, I go to the north, we got teleported. If you're confused, everyone, trust me, I am just as confused as you are. I put rations here. Do we get something special? We do not. Okay, so I'm lying to you all. Alright then. Well, that's probably it for this dungeon. A single arrow, another shield, some chainmail. Let's see if any of this is magical. I can't. We need to... Okay, we need to cast detect magic. Okay, so let's rest here then, with the sound of the Soggin walking around. We've explored all the dungeon, so they might be respawning. Maybe the cult that was down here gave them some sort of regenerative properties as well as making them stronger. Okay. So, let's prepare our spells. We'll test Tech Magic, see if anything's magical, and then we'll call the session here, everyone. We completed Dungeon Level 3. Took us about an hour, too, it looks like, if my time is correct. But I'm going to talk about some of the questions and comments I got on Part 1 and on Part 2, which is yet to be uploaded, but I'll just append my talking about those into this video as well. So let's go ahead and pray for spells first. And so I know what's coming up down below. We have a bunch of giant spiders. And it's one of the toughest levels in the game, if I recall correctly. It's confusing to navigate in with some teleporters and lots of loopy, similar rooms. And it's, again, giant black widows everywhere. We're going to be poisoned. And we're going to have to rely on slow poisons to keep us alive until we can figure out how we can neutralize them. There are a few neutralized poison potions around. But man, there's like 2 of them, I think, in level 4. And it's going to be tough to find them. So I'm not expecting to take too much damage, actually, because if we do, and we're poisoned, Cure Light Wounds isn't going to keep us alive. I think any hits we take is likely to kill us in the long run. But I still think we grab 4 Cure Light Wounds spells and a Bless with you, Roikfus. You're not going to need any of this. So we're just going to grab 4 slow poisons and pray we never have to cast a single one of them. You didn't gain a mage level, so these are still the same. for Alexander. Detect magic does. I'm sorry. Protection from evil does not help you against giant spiders. They're not evil. They're just hungry, and so protection from evil is not one we're going to be using. We will grab a bunch of blesses and detect magic with you. Second level. I'll clear this, and we'll grab only. Well, we could use another slow poison, probably, but I do want flame blades as well. 3 flame blades, 1 slow poison. And Kokor Hekis, I'm going to clear your Melf's Acid Arrow and give you an invisibility. Okay, so let's rest. People are wounded, but I don't want to have them automatically do that. We can then cast a Cure Light Wounds. We'll want to rememorize that. We're also going to want to rememorize our Detect Magic. So we'll rest one more time. Let's cast that Detect Magic. And what's magical? Spear is not magical. That shield is not. That shield is not. Chainmail is not. We'll give this to Alexander to get his armor class lowered a bit. And this leather armor can be given to Roykas, and we'll just drop the robe. Oh, that was a mistake. I want that. Okay, so I think, Tim, you're about as ready as you're gonna be. Do I want you dual-wielding Scavvy, or do I want you having a shield from -1 gore to your armor class? That arrow's not magical either. It's going to be really tricky, this dungeon. Let's give the daggers now to Roykvus. I guess we'll start using them for pressure plate purposes, because Kokor is going to start using his bow. Oh, he can cast it on whoever he likes. That's useful to know. So he can cast it on Roykvus to keep him invisible. If I'm going to have him just be casting healing spells or the occasional spell from his spellbook, although that will visible him. I guess we should hold on to the shield because we have extra space in our character's inventory. We rest one more time. Alright, everyone, and that will do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. And if you don't care about me just talking about some questions you guys had for me or what have you, by all means, feel free to skip the rest of this. Not that, you need my permission to do that. And I'll see you in the next one. Otherwise, hang on, because I'm going to answer some questions I got for the last 2 videos. So only part 1 has been uploaded at this moment. Give me a few seconds, everyone. I'll be right back. One of these days, I will just video edit every bad take I had of trying to record a segment and stick it on the video so you guys realize it takes me like 45 minutes to record some sections of it. That includes this section. This section, hey everyone, is now going to be dedicated to us talking about any questions you guys had for me. It occurred to me that some of you guys are interested in my history with Dungeons & Dragons, or had questions for me about how I did things or something of the sort, and some of you guys are providing cool factoids about yourselves. And I thought it'd be kind of neat to talk about some of that stuff. As such, this will not be a comment reading as I have done in the past. I'm not going to read every single person's comment on the prior video. That tends to slow me down as well in stopping me from recording as much of a backlog, which I like having to guarantee you guys get videos uploaded frequently. So I'm going to try to dedicate 20 minutes at the end of each of these videos to talking about some of the things you guys have left me in the form of questions or cool stuff. If we don't get to your comments or questions, I will try to get to them in the next episode. And if we end Eye of the Beholder without getting through all of them, then at the very last video, I can go ahead and try to catch up with anything I might have missed. As such as well, there will be no gameplay in this section. We're not going to run around and kill anything. I'm just literally going to stand here, look back and forth, and kill anything that might walk up to us. I have already attempted to edit the video to add like other games to the end of this one, but I can't do that at this moment because of the different resolutions that I'm running this game in and compared to other games. So while I will make attempts to make it more interesting for you to watch this section in the future, I can't guarantee I will be able to get it to work, and I apologize. So consider this more like an endgame podcast, as it were, rather than us running around and doing some of this while reading your comments. Normally I would like to read your comments as I'm playing the game, especially for parts where I'm going back and forth through areas I've already been, but I can't guarantee I will ever be able to do that because I have to pay attention to what's happening on screen given the real-time gameplay of this game. God, it was awful. I'm gonna keep it though. All right, this section wasn't too bad as a start. Okay, so let's start with Adorkable. And Adorkable had a bit to talk about the alignment systems in Dungeons & Dragons in the first video. And Adorkable, it turns out, played an evil character. One of her favorite characters was this evil character because of how they were able to work the character's motivations in with the rest of the group, who I get the impression Adorkable, the rest of the group was not evil. And with the story that the Dungeon Master wanted to tell. Kind of fun to, as Adorkable says, explore new viewpoints and stories when it comes to having a character whose alignment differs so possibly very much from your other characters. Adorkable also points out a few things that I completely agree with, and I want to also say these things. And that is that I also feel that the alignment systems in Dungeons & Dragons haven't really been well thought out. And I feel like, when I was young at least, that the alignments never changed. Like, when you roleplay your character, that alignment is the alignment that they have always had. Was the impression I got from reading the books. Now, I don't remember if that's actually the case. Normal Dungeons & Dragons, not AD&D, but D&D just had chaotic, neutral, and lawful, if I recall correctly. AD&D had the lawful good, neutral evil type of thing. How your character views rules and laws, and how they view, and what their willingness to be jerks in accomplishing their goals, I suppose, with the good, neutral, and evil at the end of it. And more recently, I myself have been more... What's the word I want to use here? I allow my characters to roleplay their own characters as they wish, but if they continue to make choices that I feel are not in the view of their character's alignment, then I will tell them that I think your character's alignment is shifting because of the way you're playing them, but that's not that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Right, because in real life, people's alignments could shift if we had alignments to worry about and what have you, because of events that transpire. Someone who loses their whole family because someone murders them and burns them alive in their house after doing unspeakable things to the wife and children, like that one gentleman in I think it was Canada who had that happen to him. Your alignment could change. Absolutely, it'd be completely understandable that your alignment would change. And so I don't enforce my characters to play their alignments, but I will mention, like, if they do something that is very different than their character alignment, I will mention, hey, just a heads up, like, your character alignment is this, you're about to do this thing, perfectly fine, but I'll make it like a little knock on their character's alignment. Similar, I guess this works similar to, if you play Planescape Torment, it's similar to how if you do things a certain way, you answer questions a certain way, you perform certain actions, the Nameless One's alignment would shift from a certain alignment to a different one, whatever he had to whatever he's going to have next. For example, if you begin just killing wantonly in the street, you're going to start shifting to an evil alignment, whereas if you're defending yourself, you won't have that problem, and so on. I agree with Adorkable, who has also mentioned that evil characters shouldn't be used as an excuse to ruin the story or mess with other players, unless everyone's okay with it. Players that do this, Dorkable said, I'm going to read this a little bit here. Players that do this are what we call wang rods and should be asked to leave the group. Yes, they should. It's very important that at the end of the day, all the players remember that they're there to have fun. You're playing a game. And on that same note, like, no one likes a metagamer or a cheater. No one likes someone who injects, like, a bunch of drama or other such things into the role-playing group. And I am very particular about the people that I'll play with. And I've closed games that I've been running because some of my players were acting in ways that I did not like very much. And I thought it would be better just to drop the game and then start a new one and not let the players who were having trouble with the game know I was starting a new game, because I don't like a confrontation very, very much. But yes, it's a cooperative experience. Everyone should try to enjoy themselves while they play it. Just for the record, I have no problem if players want to play an evil character, but it is difficult for me to come up with a story that they would find compelling to partake in if they're playing a chaotic evil character. The 2 or 3 times I've run an evil campaign, my players have slaughtered each other before the end of the first session. Maybe one of them got to the second session. I don't think any of them did. But they all killed each other. They all lied to each other. They were stealing from each other and holding out when it comes to treasure and so on. It was bound to be bad. They were all evil. None of them trusted each other. And it just went downhill or uphill because they had a blast killing each other. And then we all went back to playing our normal, good, neutral line characters who were higher level anyway. But my experience has been poor with evil campaigns. There's not as many campaigns to pull from for evil characters either. Most of the game modules I have had expect good or neutral characters. Most of the Dungeon Magazine adventures I have expect good or neutral line characters. There's very few evil campaigns or mission setup. Not that a Dungeon Master couldn't tweak them, however, to do so. Right? At the end of the day, you as a Dungeon Master have the final say in what's happening in your campaign. Indeed, the Dungeon Magazines are just basically also guidelines I have over there, all those books, if I want to run my players through one of those adventures. I don't ever play something straight from the module. There's always tweaks to be done. And in my case, tons of them, because I heavily modified the gaming system for my players to make it a lot more enjoyable to play the game. Anything else I want to say about what you mentioned, Adorable? Adorable says that one of the best characters she ever had was evil, horrifically evil, and the whole group loved him because she wasn't a jerk when she used him. And that's super cool. And she mentioned that if there was ever an issue, you talk about it with the Dungeon Master and the other players. And you make sure your players, your friends, remember that, hey, I'm just going to roleplay the character this way. Like, don't take it the wrong way if I'm going to do something evil with him. It's just, that's what he's going to do. There's been a handful of times with Dorkable in my campaign where, like, the thief is the one to open up the treasure chest and see what's inside. And I'll tell him what he sees, but only him. And then the other players might be standing around, but none of them have, like, math, none of them have reading, writing, and so they don't know how to count. And so the thief would, generally, if he took a rank or two in appraisal, could quickly guesstimate how many coins were in it. And I'd leave it up to him, like, to decide what to tell the players about how much was there. And sometimes they would take a little bit more that they felt they were earned for the trouble they went through to work with the adventurers for this one neutral character I had. Didn't do it very often, but the very first time I did it, all the players were shocked when I handed him a paper. And they're like, wait, you're not going to tell us? I'm like, no. I'm like, he's the only one who has appraisal. He's the only one who can count all those coins quickly. He's the one who opened the chest. It's up to him to tell you what's in that, how many coins are in that chest, not me. Which was great to see all the expressions on my players when they realized that that's the way that this is going to work. Adorable also, I do want to talk about this a little more because I do find this fascinating. Also did mention that if she and a player felt like a result that she was going to have her character do was a bit too much, that they would work out a different type of reaction for their players, so there would be no friction within the group. And that is amazing, Adorable. That is really cool that you do that for your players and your dungeon master. Player friction between other players, listen how I phrase this, so terrible, is important to avoid if possible. You definitely want to make sure that you're all friends at the end of the day. Okay, so let's see what's next. Master Survival asked, how do you actually want to handle all the deviation from the 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons rule system? Like, Alexander can use bladed weapons as a cleric, even though clerics aren't allowed to spill blood. So to me, okay, hold on. I'll read a little bit more of this. Elves can be resurrected. Cursed items can be unequipped at any time, for example. So, from my recollection of Dorkable, I didn't think cursed items could be unequipped. I thought cursed items stay on your character, and it's one of the reasons why you will see me take weapons like a longsword and put it in my character's offhand, because this is not considered to be equipped at this point. And for my characters who have Identify, that well, not in this game. There's no Identify in this game. I looked it up. But in the next game, there's improved Identify, which will let you actually identify magic items. But in this game, it does not exist. And so this would let me put on and take off an item. But otherwise, I think if you do put on a cursed item, it's stuck. Like, you can't take that cursed item off your character. You are forced to keep it equipped, which is awful until you can get Remove Curse. I think that's a 4th level cleric spell and or a magic user spell in order for your characters to remove it. In my campaign setting, cursed items generally lie to the players. So I will once or twice manipulate like a damage roll and make it higher to make the player think that their cursed item actually is doing good damage. But then I'll hide that from them in the future. So creatures will suddenly seem like they have more hit points. Or I'll put up, my characters are looking at my combat spreadsheet because I'm tracking hit points there. I will give creatures more hit points to make up for the damage, like before I put them on the chart, to make up for if the players are using cursed weapons, for example. As for the cleric, well, this makes the most sense to me. It requires the least amount of deviation from 2nd edition. All of my clerics in my edition of Dungeons & Dragons are vastly different from each other. I think only one cleric type from one god requires her faithful to use blunt weaponry. And again, but that's only that one god and only for that one sect that worships her. Others are perfectly allowed to use bladed weapons in a different religious institution that worships her. We have different beliefs about how she works. And so I have no issues with Alexander wielding an axe, especially if we go with the Master Forger is like it's some made-up god I'm making up right now, but is the one who gives him his spells and allows him to wield all his weaponry, any weaponry that he wants. Axes, battle axes, two-handed swords, whatever he wishes, Alexander can go ahead and use them. Let's do anything else? Let's see really quick. Nope, nothing else from Master Survival. Master Survival, also thank you for mentioning don't stress when it comes to producing and publishing videos. Thank you, sir, very much. I do like having a backlog, so I'm going to try to make sure that I'm uploading this like once every, at least every 3 days, if I can. Preferably once every other day, but that will also be difficult if I'm spending a lot of time answering questions at the end of these videos. Let's see. Dennis Mayak was mentioning how awkward it is to have the memorization-based spell systems instead of the mana spell systems in games. And I completely agree. I'll say dumb. It's so dumb for exactly the reasons Dennis Mayak has mentioned, which is that, like a first level mage, you cast your very precious sleep spell, and guess what? You're not doing anything else for the next 10.5 hours. And even then, you have, like, what is it? It's supposed to be 4 hours normally, and then it's 15 minutes per rank of the spell you want to memorize. So in other words, if you have one first level spell to memorize, it's 4 hours to memorize it. If you have 2, it's 4 hours, 15 minutes to memorize both spells. I don't know why they did it that way. It really, I think it's because mages get extraordinarily powerful later with the spells at their disposal. But I still think they could have come up with a mana system to cast these spells. And I did, and it was a lot of work to come up with that mana system. And I got it wrong several times over the years, but it's been ironed out, and I think it's working rather well the last time that I had used it. And it at least lets the mages, first off, recover mana faster. So after about an hour, you're able to cast like another first or 1 or 2 first level spells again. So this way you don't feel like you're running, you feel like you're running on empty or very close to it, but you're not empty all the time. And at least you can contribute to the group when it comes to other battles or even miscellaneous stuff. Because so much of the spells in 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons, I'm just going to say it, are awful. They're useless spells, most of them, in the Tomb of Magic or the Player's Handbook. They're garbage. Most of the spells are garbage. Most of them are garbage. Like, everyone takes Fireball. Everyone takes Lightning Bolt. What are the other 3rd level spells? Meteor Storm, I think is a 3rd level spell. Dispel Magic for mages is a 3rd level spell that could be useful. But it won't be that useful because you can't Dispel Magic on Lightning Bolt or Fireball, which every mage has. For example. And so, by garbage I mean many of the spells have a more miscellaneous-like effect. And players and dungeon masters generally, that would be unfair for me to say it that way. Players tend to remember the very flashy spells. Things that do lots of damage in a big AoE. Things that look really cool, like a lightning bolt ricocheting down a corridor to arc through creatures multiple times. Pretty freaking awesome, and that's amazing. But it could be just as useful to cast some other spells on occasion. But most mages aren't going to memorize those spells because the odds of you needing something very specific is so rare that it's much better for you to use to just go with the standard Fireball, Lightning Bolt, right? With a clerics, it's better for us to stick with Cure Light Wound spells for them for the most part. Anyway, I'm doing a bunch of babbling, but I completely agree. I hated the rest mechanic. I much preferred for things to come more naturally, and it just feels so weird that to get all your spells back, you have to sit around in camp for like an entire day and not do anything the higher level you are. It's so strange how that works. It seems to break the immersion for me of a group of adventurers walking around exploring. They're not. They're sitting around waiting for their mage to force himself to fall asleep again so that this way he can memorize the spells he wants. It's so weird. Bruno asked if I ever played the Temple of Elemental Evil, and I have never played that game. I think my brother Joe gave me a remake of it in the early 2000s, but I still never played it. If it did come out in the early 2000s, then that's when the move to 3rd edition was probably happening. And yep, and I see Kibitz down below in the comments also mentions that it uses the 3.x rule setting. And I guess I'll just I'll say it. I don't like 3rd edition very much. It's so weird because I just was talking about how much I hated some of the various rules, and there's a lot of problems with 2nd edition. But as a dungeon master, I know how to make a creature that will be strong, or not strong, or very or too strong for my players, because I've spent so much time analyzing the rules. And I understand what the odds are for different roles or armor classes, different spells or effects to give monsters or mages, or what they're coming up against, how much armor to give something, that I can just create something on the fly instantly. But 3rd edition always felt unnatural to me because I didn't understand how most of the mechanics worked. And I didn't like a lot of the rules in 3rd edition. I didn't like them in 2nd edition, but I don't like them in 3rd edition either. I didn't think 3rd edition was an improvement on 2nd edition very much. And as someone who likes Thaco, I was kind of upset to see it taken out. Oh, alright guys. So I was scanning over the rest of the comments. There are no more questions for me, actually I guess there's one more question. Bruno asked if I had ever heard of the or played the Temple of Elemental Evil. And I've owned the game in the past, many, many years ago. I might actually have a... Let me check really quick. I might actually have a GOG installer for it. Let's see. If I do not see it. No, okay, so I do not currently own it. But I have heard, as Kibbit says in the comments section, that it uses the 3rd edition rule set. And as much as I have some reservations about various gameplay mechanics in 2nd edition, I do like 2nd edition more than 3rd. I didn't think they really made too much more of an improvement with 3rd. People complain about THAC0 all the time, for example, but THAC0 is really easy to understand. It's really easy to understand, right? That's the number you need to roll to hit a creature who has an armor class of 0. So if the creature's armor class is higher, you have an easier chance of hitting it, in a direct relation to the number in regards to what your THAC0 is. It's really easy. The complicated part for 2nd edition is when a shield +1 lowers your armor class by 1. Like, what the heck, guys? Stuff of that nature is super confusing. In my role-playing games, the good shields are a shield -1 armor class, because that's lowering your armor class, which is what you want. I mean, it's like someone didn't proofread the 2nd edition rules when they created it all those years ago. They probably didn't, actually. Anyway, that's all the comments I have on the first video that were Dungeons & Dragons oriented and or questions for me. And so it's also been like 22 minutes, so I'm going to stop here. When we come back at the end of the next video, I'll read comments that you guys left on the second part. So I guess we'll do it this way. We'll be 2 episodes behind when it comes to questions I ask. Alright, well in any case, thank you guys again for watching this. And now I'm off to record ourselves dying horrifically in the level below, which is the most difficult level, I should remember, of the first game. So I'll see you guys then.